Alhamdulillah. So, inshallah, we are going to begin our lecture for today. So, welcome to Master Prize e-learning lecture series. And today we have with us a speaker who needs no introduction, especially to the Malaysian student in the United States. He is an academician, an educator. He has taught in Malaysia and in the United States. He writes weekly on Malaysian political, educational, culture, and also social changes. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome our speaker today, Dr. Azir Rahman, to speak on the topic, reshaping future youth.
Can you hear me now? Hello? All right. I hope you can hear me. I'm quite nervous with the technology that's being offered to me now since I started to learn about this GoToMeeting just a half an hour ago. But I hope you are going to be making it through the next hour and a half. I just want to welcome all of you, and I want to thank you, Inda's Hanum Shamsi from University of Michigan, and her group MPIS based in University of Michigan. I hope I'm getting this information correct. For organizing this, this lecture was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago, but I asked them to postpone because I needed to learn about the new technology. And today, I'm very happy to be here again. The technology that I'm using now is something that I've always wanted to try, because again, in this world, which is what we're going to be talking about, this world is about technological changes, and we master technology and look at the possibilities of doing what we can do with technology, and so much can be done. The topic for today is, since it's going to be an hour and a half lecture, I don't intend to have an hour and a half lecture straight, because I think this is the best time for us to go to sleep also. But the topic itself, yesterday's tomorrow is now, and live it well. So I have changed a little bit of the topic. What I'm going to do is this. Hopefully I'm going to talk for about an hour, and then we're going to have questions and answers. And in fact, in between the lecture itself, the talk itself, if you have any question that you need to ask, we can go ahead and shoot an email to the organizer, or even, in fact, if it's possible, if it's allowable for you to intervene and also to interject and ask questions. But other than that, I'm more interested in questions and answers, question and answer session, right? I'm going to be talking about this, which is the topic of reshaping future youth. Just a bit of introduction about myself. I have been an educator for the last 20 years, both in Malaysia and the United States, and my background is diverse. Academically, my background is in the fields of my doctorate is in international education. I have, I stayed in school long, so I'm fortunate to have 4 master's degree. One is in education, the other one is in political economy, studying, focusing on peace education, international relations, and communication and education. My undergraduate background is in literature, world literature, and English language teaching. So, through this diverse background that I've acquired, and also I've also taught more than 40 different courses, both in Malaysia and the United States, and also I've written about more than 300 articles analyzing Malaysia and also the context of change, and also politics and economics. And again, these are the things that keep me busy. But what I want to share is basically not so much about talks in political science or culture or education, but basic tips. What do we need? What are the concepts that we need, and also the skills we need in order for us to navigate through this almost difficult world. The world is so complex, and we're gonna talk about the concepts, and then the skills, and then finally at the end of this lecture, let's look at the tips. Then one of the tips is called the rules of life, and it's from one familiar name, Bill Gates, and it's very interesting that I think we should all be introduced to the 11 rules of life that he suggested in order for us to succeed. So, no, without further ado, let me just go to the first slide. Okay. All right. Since no one's clapping, I can't see anyone. I don't know how everyone looks like, and whether people are clapping or falling asleep. But this is the first one, and the title is "Yesterday's Tomorrow is Now. Live it well." Now this sounds like a Nike commercial. Just do it, or live life to the fullest. Well, actually, this is not a typical lecture of mine. Usually, I go for the lectures that just got to do political analysis, cultural analysis, and the study of philosophy. But I'm very happy at this at this time of the day, which is at 9 something, to be able to talk about something that you can take away and think about in very simple terms. It's a very simple language. So if you can see this on my screen. Hey. All right, that will probably keep you awake. The drum roll. Now, when we talk about today, right, it's a difficult concept. Again, what characterizes today's world? What do you see today that is different from, let's say, 50 years ago, or 100 years ago, or we cannot go that far. Perhaps through the conversations that we had with people who are older than us, or through readings, to the study of history, we could see the changes that has happened for the last few decades. And we'll talk about today. Today's world is characterized by something called complexity. The world is so complex. In fact, it has always been complex. Since the beginning of time, there's a lot of complexity that's happening in this world, and even more so now. We'll see why. Through technology and also the interplay between culture and technology, we see that the world has changed drastically and radically for the last, let's say, 50 years. Particularly with the advent of the internet, the computers. The computer only started 60 years ago. Right? It was invented out of the womb of the Pentagon. The computers started talking to each other. 5 computers started talking to each other and became the internet. It's called. Before that, it was a DARPANET. It's based on the defense project of the United States Army. So actually, that contributes also to the rapid changes that's happening in this world. Now, the second characterization of this world is that it's chaotic. The world has never been peaceful, but chaos. From the relationship between nations, relationship amongst the people in that particular nation, relationship of people in urban areas, even in villages also, you can see actually chaos. But that's not the big picture. That's not the real picture of the world. Out of the chaos, there's also organization. So it's pretty much organized chaos, some people say. So this is what, two of them: complexity, chaos. And the next one is, the world is characterized by competition. Competition is everywhere. Since we grow up with competition, we compete with each other. Whether compete for resources, or whether we compete for grades, whether we compete academically in schools. This is what competition is about. And the world has been characterized as competition ever since. In our country itself, for example, in Malaysia, it's always about competition over resources, over definitions. Who gets what? Who doesn't get what? Who gets left behind? Who competes for this and that? And who wins? Who loses? It's as if history is about winners and losers, right? But that's what the world we're living in is about. And the favorite word, change. And everyone talks about change. Change, let's change, political change, cultural change. The only permanent thing is change. The philosopher, Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu once says that the only permanent thing is change. And change has been used over and over again anyway in any society when it comes to political campaign. Everybody wants to change. Now, whether everybody understands what change means, that's another question. Right? And not just that, not just changes, but collaboration. We see collaboration between this and that group, between nations, between groups of people.